Okay, we are back. Okay, so now we are actually going to continue, but now we're actually going to go to the modify command. So that is the true part of the Unit 11 material. Now we know how to draw lines, polylines, circles, some polygons, a rectangle. We can create those. But the beauty of AutoCAD, as I mentioned before, is that once we create something, we don't have to recreate it again. Sometimes we make things and then instead of having to recreate everything, we can just modify them. Okay, so today we're going to look at this part right here. You can see the modify panel right here, and inside all these icons, the move, the copy, the stretch. We have used only the erase, right? We have used that in the past 2 weeks, I believe. So today we're gonna look in more detail at the modify commands. Now, some of these will be easy and simple. Some are going to require a little more time, a little more dedication, because they do have some extra steps that we need to do as opposed to some other ones. So we're going to do this in groups. I'm going to try to do 2 or 3 of these commands at a time so the videos don't go too long, and then you can review as you need. Okay, so the first one we're going to start with is going to be your erase. We already did this, so if I simply want to delete something that I don't want, I can go to my erase icon right here, click on the item that I don't want, then hit enter. Remember, if that wasn't what I wanted to do, then I can always go to my undo button right here, and then undo. That's right here. Okay, under quick access toolbar, there's the undo, like the back arrowhead right here, and then you can do that. So I'm going to go again, simply erase, delete right here, so I can select 1 and 2 and then hit enter, and they're gone. I can also, remember, I can also select it first, click on it, and then simply go and say erase, and they go away. I'm going to bring those lines back because I'm going to need them to continue to do that. So this is pretty simple. Delete, to delete or to erase something, remember you can select these items right here, and you can delete on your keyboard, or you can go to your erase icon right here, the little pencil picture, the like a number 2 pencil with a little red eraser. You can do that, and then simply goes away. Okay, so that's erase. That's probably going to be one of the simple ones we're going to use. Then we're going to use the next one. It's move. Okay, so if we look at this one right here, that icon with 4 arrowheads pointing in all directions on the quadrant points, if you want, from the center away in the north and south and east and west direction. So when we're going to move things, we can simply move from any given point, or we can move from a particular reference to another particular reference. So let me just go right here, and remember, each one of these functions, of these icons, of these commands that we see right here, they have their function on the keyboard also. You can do M right here, or you can do M on your keyboard, then enter, then you will be good to go as well. It's the same thing. But I'm just going to go through the icons so that we can all follow the same. So move, and the first thing that my computer is going to say is going to say select object. Okay, so I go select. Remember that we can select either with a green crossing window that will select everything that it touches. It doesn't have to be 100% inside. As long as you touch it, then it will be selected. Or you can do a selection window, a blue window with solid profile, but everything has to be inside. Only whether it's 100% inside will be selected. We can also do the free form selection window, and then you can just move around right here, right? Or you can go and simply click on each one of those items. We have done this in the past, so we should know that by now. And deselect, press and hold the shift key and select all those things that you don't want to select. But let's go to move. So move, okay, I'm going to select my object right here. And I simply go and click anywhere and just move it around. I don't have to press and hold anything. I'm simply clicking. I selected my object and then I just go move it there. So I just moved it at random from one location to another random location. If I go undo, what I can do, I can also go move again, select this object, and I know that I want this to be from a specific point, let's say this endpoint right here, to another endpoint, which will be right here. Then I can move it there. I can move it to my endpoint right here. I can move it to my endpoint right here, anywhere, because I have a reference from to. So from this endpoint right here to the endpoint right here. Then I know for sure that it's going to be at the right location that I want it. And if I have all these objects, I can say, well, let's move now this object from here to that perpendicular point, to the midpoint, to the end point, to midpoint right here, and I can move them from one specific location to another one, or I can simply randomly move them from one place to another. Okay, so that will be our erase, our move, and then we will do copy right here. Okay, there's copy right here. So if I want to make a copy of that object, I can go again and say, let me copy this object. So the program is going to say, select object. What do you want to copy? So I go and put a window right here, select everything, and I'm going to make a copy out of this one and simply put it right here. And I can make multiple copies at once. So I can make another one, and I can place it here, and I can place it there. Anyway, I can just go and place them. From this specific point, from my reference point, I can take it to any point that I want, or I can simply copy them anywhere. And I can make multiple copies right here very quickly, and then I hit enter. And if I had this and I say, you know what, I need to make a copy of all these things, I can go and select everything from this point. See, I can very quickly make copies of my object. So now I have multiple copies of that. See, and I can continue to do that if I wanted to. So that is my erase, my copy, and my move modify commands right here. Okay, so we'll stop right here and we'll continue on the next one.